want to add a comedy, but it's a zombie comedy where people are murdered. So
Right.
I am going to go Life After Beth because it's just audacious, and I think Aubrey Plaza is awesome. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say Life
I
After
thought
Beth.
you were gonna go Tusk, Mark. I did.
I've dedicated episodes to it. I've watched the documentary. I've listened to the commentaries. I like Tusk. I am a Tusk defender. I do think we've talked about this, but there are scenes watching it. I think I'm repeating myself for the 40th time, but I was watching it. I'm like, yeah, Kevin Smith wrote that the night before. And then on the commentary, he's like, yeah, I wrote this the night before because I wanted to give Genesis Rodriguez a monologue. I'm like, I knew it.
Oh my god. And it's you doing the Will Smith, like, see?
Yeah, exactly. I knew it. I knew it. It's funny though. I remember that because I always remember my experience because that's the day we closed on our house, and I got a call halfway through. My wife was like, we closed on our house. I was like, yeah.
And so this movie is now permanently frozen in your life history.
Absolutely. And then the monologue, I was like, oh, yeah. He just wrote that the night before. It's funny. But yeah, I love your team. The Witch, Hereditary, Midsummer, Saint Maud, It Comes at Night. And then I have Green Room, The Blackcoat's Daughter, Climax, Under the Skin, and Life After Beth. And this is awesome. Like, we had no overlap at all.
None. Yeah, we didn't have to go to blows.
Yeah, listen, you're going to smush me here. This is a 75-25% scenario. But you know me, I don't play to win. I play to be happy with my
squad.
team. And I'm not saying you are either.
Yeah, this is also my squad, but I think my squad does have more of the general agreement on it, I think. Because Green Room is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real good one. And as soon as you said, I went, yeah, that one's off. I'm not going to get it. But that's cool because it's just such a hell of a film.
But Blackcoat's Daughter. Ooh, it's so good. I love Oz Perkins.
I'm going to see it tonight.
He also wrote I Am the Pretty Little Thing That Lives in the House, and then he also directed Gretel and Hansel.
Those are two really stylistic, interesting movies.
Yeah, very. I love his style. And
yeah,
you know what's
he
interesting?
Definitely has a point of view.
One nice thing too about Hereditary, it's not a slow burn. Because it burns all the way through.
But I don't know that it burns as quickly as some others. Yeah,
but we do get decapitations. We get wild yelling matches.
God.
We get.
That's
strangers true. Yelling. Some movies really take their time. I like that.
Yelling, get out, Peter! Like, what the hell is happening? Can you imagine being kids sitting nearby at another table? Like, why is this woman yelling at Peter? What is going on?
I'm more cult. They get out, Peter. Give me that change.
Oh my God, the change.
Give me that pocket money.
Hashtag Taco God. Hashtag the change.
Yeah, exactly. And listen. This is a very well-made movie, and I would teach this. If Toni Collette got nominated for an Oscar, I would back her. She doesn't need my backing, but I would be so happy. I guess I just was always at a distance with this movie, and so when people were talking about crying with grief, I was like, this is not a grief movie, though, because they're getting played by a bunch of people who want them gold coins.
That's it.
So you never, take shelter. You get that grief. You wallow in this grief. And Blackcoat's Daughter, to an extent, for me, really hurts me, scenes in it, the loneliness of certain scenes. And so I think that that's the grief to me. But yeah, this one's just watching a family get played by a cult.
Yep, it is, all the way through.
And what else do you guys do? I don't know.
What are they going to do now is the question.
Yeah.
They've dedicated 40 years of their lives. Yeah, I guess. Because now that's now that we've got them here, now what?
Would it be a spoiler if I tweeted, I want a sequel to Hereditary about how the cult members deal with their new wealth? Do they buy jet skis? Are
they buying a house for payment? Or whose couch is he going to sleep on?
Is the IRS getting involved? Do one of them work for the IRS? Does this go to the government? What? I don't know.
We need information.
Give me. But listen, I really appreciate you joining me. It sounds like we both were able to unpack certain things in this.
Sure.
And you know what's interesting? I think with Brightburn, I think I have more of an appreciation for this movie just talking about how beautiful it is and how well acted it is and getting that off my chest. And hearing your breakdown.
I love allowing you to get that vent out. I love joking about it. This has just been super fun.
Because no one talks about the cult gang.
No.
Nobody, right? Nobody. It's quite silly.
It's completely dismissed.
Oh wait, do you have her EpiPen? Is there is there nuts in that thing? And then they cut to someone smacking nuts with a knife.
Right.
And,
this giant pile of walnuts. Like, how many of these chocolate cakes is she making? Like, what?
Listen, that's why I know that, but the movie's so effective.
It really is.
But also, like, Quiet Place. I have a Quiet Place video in the works with the film theorists, like how to survive it. But they planted corn, and they harvested corn in that movie. Mm-hmm. But no one talks about that. And, like, why is that nail there? Nobody talks about it because it's a good movie. And I think you can really pass over a lot of things when it's an effective film. So I get it. I like it. And I'm glad we talked about it.
I am too.
Well, thank you for joining me. Hey, do you want to promote your podcast? And then we're going to put your ad on there as well. But
I would love it.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people about your show?
Yeah, so my brother and I finally got our act together, and we have launched the SibList. So this is SibList. So think siblings with a list. We're both fiends for movies. We have been our whole lives, brought up on it with our parents. And, so we launched our introductory episode in which we talk about our favorite movies. We talk about what we love about movies. We talked about our earliest movie memories. So you get a little bit of our family history there. And we have finally watched our first film, Lady Hawk. And so that episode will be coming next week. And our premise is simple. We have 4 movie lists. We have new release as a category. So if that comes up on the wheel, our randomizer, then we'll watch a new release. We have the pop chart fill-in filmography, which has 1,500 movies listed on it, all kinds of categories and subcategories. Although my brother made an error and our randomizer only has 1,498 titles in it. So he missed 2 somewhere. So at some point down the road, we'll figure out which ones we've missed. And then Mark and I have each come up with a list of doom. And these are movies that, for one reason or another, we have been avoiding. Not necessarily bad movies either. Some Academy Award winning movies on there. Some films that people love, but he or I have been avoiding them. And so these are our 4 categories. We leave everything up to fate. Since Sophocles came up in Hereditary, might as well talk about it here. Here we leave it up to an internet wheel that tells us what category we're going to watch, and then Mark has put together a big old randomizer spreadsheet with all of the titles put in there, and so we just go with it. And Lady Hawk was our very first film. Neither one of us has seen it, so you get to hear our thoughts next week when that episode drops.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks so much. We're excited about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Lisa.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It's always a blast chatting with you.
This was great. All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Lisa Leaheey, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.